back again that could flop forward and knock 'em dead, on and off stage, incidentally. If he could just get on stage in the first place. As for her first husband, there was a man who was truly nobody, truly nowhere, his father. But in between, and it had been a long in-between, she had gone on stage herself. What a cruel bastard business. Think about it and you were lost. And who did she have to push her? No one must see this. No one must know. He could hear the rising murmur waiting to engulf him. He must breathe, breathe. Don't cry, Cinders. Now he had only himself to push himself. But how was he to do it? Cross the line. Step over the edge. Jack was compere that season, his second, and Ronnie and Evie had the first spot after the interval. It was thanks to Jack that they were in the show at all, and the first spot after the interval was a good one to have. When everything changed, fell apart that August, they moved up to last spot of all, not counting Jack's end-of-show routine. They'd moved by then up the billing too. People were coming specially to see them. The billboards even started to carry pasted-on flyers with such stuff as, "Come and see with your own eyes." Jack had said, who else's eyes would it be then? But his quips weren't so many by those days. His public quips continued. Have you heard the one about the garage owner's wife? The show must go on. You're in Brighton, folks, so bloody well brighten up. It went on through to early September, and the public saw only the marvel of the thing, the talked-about thing. Then the show was over, and the talked-about thing was no more than that. It could only ever exist in the memories of those who'd seen it, with their own eyes, in those few summer weeks. Then those memories would themselves fade. They might wonder anyway if they really had seen it. Other things were over too. Ronnie and Evie, having had a remarkable debut, coming from nowhere to achieve summer fame and having secured for themselves, it would seem, future bookings, even a whole career, never appeared on stage again. Ronnie never appeared again at all. According to Eddie Costello, one of the local arts and entertainments hacks, writing only a month or so before, the couple, and they were a real couple, had taken Brighton by storm. Possibly overstated at the time, it was now only half the story, and no longer a mere arts and entertainments one. Evie finally took off her engagement ring. It had been another case of the show must go on. In the days when his quips were free in coming, Jack had cracked that they were engaged to do the summer season. They didn't have to get engaged to each other too, though clearly they had. The engagement ring with its single sparkling gem was even a visible compliment, tiny but visible, to her silvery costume. How would it have looked if she'd taken it off before the show came to an end? And it was, like any such ring, a guarantee. If it all worked out, and surely it would, they would get married that September when the show closed and take a honeymoon, preferably not in Brighton. Or perhaps Evie had hoped that by carrying on wearing the ring the whole thing might revert to what it had been. Everything might be redeemed. She hadn't given it back to Ronnie. Ronnie hadn't asked for it back. He hadn't said anything. Let the ring itself decide. One day that September, after the show had finished, and after the police had said she was free to leave Brighton, she did the obvious thing. She went to the end of the pier, took off the ring, and threw it in the sea. She never told Jack. Even then she'd thought, without knowing how her life would turn out, that doing this with the ring might somehow have brought everything back. Might even have brought Ronnie back. It was a regular seaside holiday show. Variety. Anything from acrobats to the up-and-coming rockabye boys, and the no longer up-and-coming yet ample Doris Lane, sometimes known as the Mistress of Melody, sometimes, in cheeky reference to one of her rivals, as the Force's fiancée.